Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, readers of all persuasions. It is I, Gayla, and welcome back to Book Uncorked and Caffeinated, and welcome back to Bookmas Day 16. Yes, it's Day 16. So, I am going to continue my talks about what I've read this year. I've talked about all the books hauls, all the buying of the books, all the books I want to read. So, we're going to continue with the books I have read. So, as I said in my last video, I read 95 books. Nothing has changed between that video and this video. I'm in the process of reading, but the number of completion has not changed. So in quarter two, I read 5 books in the month of April, 10 books in the month of May, and 11 books in the month of June. I guess that's 26 books. And so and most of the books I read during this time I listened to with my ears, so most of this list would be audiobooks. So let's start with the first set of audiobooks for the month of April, and I lumped them all together. Even though I read 5 books, I read a series, and I read the Danger Family series by India Carter. So I read Tempted by Danger, Captivated by Danger, and Intrigued by Danger. So Tempted by Danger was about Damon, one of the brothers, and he's considered like the playboy, always in trouble with fraternizing with the women at work of the company that they own and all the things. So he obviously always finds the love interest to take him down, and so nothing was different with Damon. He found someone at the company, but they had to keep it under wraps. And as we all know, it did not stay under wraps. But they enjoyed the steamy ride moving forward. Captivated by Danger was about Diesel, who was kind of like had this God complex. No one can touch him. He's God's gift to the world, and anybody wanted to be a part of his life. And of course, there's always a woman that be like, nah, sir, it's me. And the last one, Intrigued by Danger, was about Declan. So Declan's story was a bit more interesting. Declan was the brother that was married on a long-term committed relationship of I think it was his high school sweetheart, if I'm not mistaken. And they got pregnant, so they got married. But they both were not happy in their marriage. They got, together pretty young. I don't think they were actually married because of all the turmoil, but they had like an open relationship, so to speak, or his wife wanted an open relationship. That's what it was. His partner wanted an open relationship, and he wasn't happy about it. And then he met someone, and so he was like, oh, this open relationship isn't bad at all. And she was like, whoa, brother, I wanted this. It wasn't for you. But he was like, nah, if you want it, it's good for me as well. So we can imagine how that turns out. So this series was super good, super steamy, enjoyed it, but each story really had a storyline and a place, and it grew as it went further in the line. And I can see why I thought she made Declan the last one, because it was a little bit more meat and grit, talking about being in a relationship and partnering with children and things of that nature. So that was the favorite reads of April. Then, of course, I cannot say enough. I've talked about this book almost in every video. I'm probably sure of it. But May 10 reads, the favorite out of May reads. But of course, Kennedy Rhymes, can't get enough. I mean, I don't even know what else to say. Hendrix, The Color Purple, being in the month of May, my favorite color, the month of my birth, and one of my favorite books. I think it might be my top book of the year. Now, this book caused some controversy. There was levels in the Skyline Sisters of what book was the favorite. And I feel like this was the least favorite out of the 3, but it was my favorite. And I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it again for the 100th time. Hendrix really, I really understand Hendrix from like a personal point of view. The only thing we don't have in common is that we don't have an elderly mother who has dementia. My mother is doing well mentally, thank God. But Hendrix's story is kind of like my story, and just trying to find love. Now, I don't like the way it ended for Hendrix. I want me to be partnered. But yeah, this was my favorite read of the month. Dare I say, when I get to the end of the year, this might be my favorite book of the year. And it doesn't have to be like everyone's favorite. I don't care. It's mine. So this was one of the 10 books, but the favorite book of the month of May. And last but not least, I'll have it on the screen, was audiobooks. It's also a series, the Delgado series with Capone. I am so like into this Capone series. It is ridiculous. And my friend has some Audible credits that she's trying to get rid of, and I have to remind her she needs to send me some books because she's about to lose her credits, and I'm gonna be pissed because she can give me the rest in the rest of the like Capadonna and Capri. But anywho, this was about a young man, you know, living that street life, but was in love with his brother-in-law's first love. And although his brother-in-law had moved on, you know, the code of the streets, the code of family, the code of brotherhood. But Capone was like, nah, I'm good, kid. And he started to embark on this journey with this young woman. And she was totally not that type of girl. She just wanted to work, you know, feed her family and move forward. But little did she know when she fell in love with him what she was getting herself into. And so although it's kind of street and gritty and steamy and hot, it does tell the development of a love story and how family always stick together. So out of the 11 books I read, 3 of them was a part of the Zagato family, starting with Capone, and that was the favorite read of June. So yeah, I read 7 books that's considered favorite out of the 20 books because, you know, 3 were a part of a series. But yeah, that's my reading journey. Right, I'm still at book 95. Hopefully by Bookmas day like 18, 19, I'll be wrapping this 95 to 100 books together. My goal is 100 books for the year, and it changed. It started out as 25. It went up to 30, then it went to 50, then it went to 75, then it went to 85, then I went to 100, then back down to 85, and now back to 100. So yeah, I've had an enjoyable reading journey this year. And it doesn't matter how many books you read, 1, 2, 200, 1.5. It doesn't matter. As long as you're reading with your eyes or listening with your ears, you are a reader. So in that kind of discussion of books, do all of the things. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next video. Deuces. Bye.